Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a good mix of ships right here. Let's hear what's on the field.
Alright, I'm Kill 2 with Darius Johnson. We have the second to last match of Day 3 of Alliance Tournament 8 between R.A.G.E and Solar Fleet. R.A.G.E on your left in red has 2 Tengus, a Loki, a Lachesis, a Curse, a Scimitar, a Thrasher, and 3 Ishkur.
For Solar Fleet, we have 2 carries, a Tyrannus, 2 Curses, a Claw, a Guardian, a Baelgorn, an Ishkur, and another Baelgorn. And one of the Baelgorns for Solar Fleet has been placed into half armor, shield, and structure. I'm assuming that is a penalty of some form.
Yeah, that's a moving violation, and actually, I was thinking earlier today, we've had an impressively low amount of those so far in the tournament. Nobody has moved before the match started in all of days 1 and 2, which is pretty good work. Good job, everybody. But so far today hasn't been so good. We had a Tyrannus move earlier, and this Baelgorn moved twice, maybe once to try to move back to where he was, which is always a bad idea. Just leave it, or it'll get worse and worse for you. So that's why he's at half HP, which is a big deal. That's like, you know, a really important chip on their team, obviously.
Yeah, one of the things that we would go over constantly during tournaments is basically screaming at each other not to move once you've been moved into the arena, specifically because of this. Once you warp to where you are, you can't activate any modules that and you can't move.
Yeah, and it's hard to do. I've done it in our camera ships, even though I don't want to do it either. You sit here for 10 or 15 minutes without being able to move, and it's amazing how easy it is to touch your mouse on accident. Anyway, match about to start. These teams once again have warped kind of at close angles. The beacons pretty near each other, leading to a distance that's pretty close, even though both of them warped at range to the central arena beacon. So we'll have to see if they're close enough for much damage from the Baelgorns to get applied right away, or if it will take a minute.
Kill 2, how often would you say that you touch your mouse by accident?
I don't want to talk about it, it happens sometimes, but we're going to leave it at that. And hopefully the countdown will start before you can bug me about it more.
Excellent. We're looking at damage, actually, on that Baelgorn.
Now he's down to 1/4 shield structure and armor. This guy is really having a hard time. I bet he's just praying the match will start, like, right now, so he doesn't lose his ship before anything actually happens. And we do have a countdown, so hopefully he will make it to the end of that.
I'm thinking perhaps he's touching his mouse by accident as well.
Yeah, probably safe to assume. I think maybe the second time it might have been intentional, but to begin with, definitely an accident. So he is getting armor back quickly from the Guardian. I'm wondering if R.A.G.E will target him first. It kind of makes for a weird situation because they may want to shoot a Curse or a Guardian first, assuming all their HP starts at max, but with him taking some damage, they might have to change their plans, although he's already all the way back to full armor, so that's not going to be the case. A lot of dampening coming from the Solar Fleet team, as well as obviously tons of neutralization. So no damage really at all. Carry's starting to take some damage.
Yeah, and from the Solar Fleet team, we have a mix of medium and light drones. Looks like Valkyrie 2s and Warrior 2s. And on the other side, we have looks like some light drones, a mix of light drones and shield maintenance bots.
I really like, actually, I think the Frigs are going to make a big difference in this fight, but I like Solar Fleet's chances here, mostly because I think both teams are kind of doing the same thing. There's a lot of damps and a lot of neutralization on both sides, but Solar Fleet has the advantage of having Baelgorns, which are extremely good at it, over just the one Curse on the Rage side. And also they have the web range, which hopefully will kind of lock down things so they can do some shooting. But I think right now what's happening is almost everyone's damped out, so there's not too much. All the offensive ships, the Tengus not firing at all. The Baelgorns, I saw a couple volleys there. Yeah, now starting to fire a little bit now, but that's the first I've seen of them.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot. They're shooting at Ishkur on the Rage team. Solar Fleet is, but its shield just keeps coming right back up. And it's also worth noting for those of you who perhaps don't have eyes that Mactep, the Solar Fleet Baelgorn, has been repped up by the Guardian to full armor.
Yeah, he's doing fine. This Ishkur for the Rage team, definitely almost taking enough damage to get him killed. If they can, you know, alpha through the shield. I usually despise alpha related comments, but this is actually where it's important. If you can burst down through that shield before the rep comes and hit more armor and structure damage, eventually he'd drop. But it looks like the damage stopped. He's headed kind of away from the fight now, so he's doing fine. And little damage happening for the curse on the Rage team, but other than that, still really stable right now.
Yeah, it looks like for a second they spread their damage around for whatever reason. We're showing slivers of damage on the curse, the Thrasher, and both Ishkurs actually for the Rage team. So it looks like Rage themselves decided to take a shot at the second Balgorn of Solar Fleet. We're looking at it's only into about 25% shields though.
And, you know, this fight is going to, at some point, it seems slow now, but at some point it's going to fall apart and ships are going to start dying because with so much neutralization on the field and the only way to get more cap, there's no real cap transfer going on. It would only be from cap boosters, and those are limited. So at some point, and maybe right now, as this Lachesis starts to take a ton of damage on the Rage side while the Solar Curse is hurting bad too, we'll start to see, yeah, more and more damage as people start to run out of cap and E-War starts to go away and people can get some locks and get some guns turned on.
Yeah, we did have a ship go down on the Rage side. I didn't see what it was, however, because I'm terrible at this. And on the Solar side, it looks like they're shooting the Ishkur. I don't know. There's a lot of damage spread around, and nobody's really hurting anyone.
Yeah, that was a Lachesis, probably the least important ship for this setup. It's weird to see a Lachesis. It's really rare that we have really kind of devoted dampening ships. Usually damps take a kind of utility role on people that have extra mid slots. This Rage team able to do damage. We're seeing now a Tyrannus bouncing down into armor and then getting rep back up. Earlier we saw the Curse, and the Curse still actually taking some damage, but getting it rep back up. Solar Fleet Tyrannus starting to hurt pretty bad, but this Guardian doing a good job keeping everyone repaired, including the frigates. The frigates are definitely not to be underestimated in terms of importance, so hopefully he can keep that up and maybe some more damage come out. Now Tengu actually starting to go down for the Rage team.
Yeah, that Tengu is at about 50% shield. It looks like they're also shooting Rage's Ishkur. It's kind of they're swapping targets pretty fast. I don't know whether they're trying to get away from or to confuse the Scimitar pilot, or if they're just they just like shooting whole bunches of things. And it looks like that Ishkur is going to go down.
And this is another, we see now this Tengu, the one that's about to go down as the Rage Ishkur is hurting really bad as well. This Rage Tengu is tackled by Balgorns, which I suppose, you know, they have the extremely long web range, but still it seems to me like in a Tengu, ooh, is that Tengu shooting light missiles? I'm just wondering why he's so close to the fight. But he is definitely shooting, like, light assault missiles. So, like an anti-frig Tengu as the basis of your DPS there for Rage, which is pretty bizarre.
Yeah, and that Tengu is at about 25% shields. It's in structure. It's not going to last much longer. We did lose another ship on the Solar Fleet side, and it looks like it was a Tyrannus, and we're losing a Stiletto now. Yes.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, now things starting to fall apart for Rage. Their team really didn't have a lot of damage to start with. They're kind of banking on this E-War, and it looks like they're going to lose that E-War battle, which in many of the matches in the tournament, the E-War battle is really the important one. The damage comes in a lot of the time after the fact, you know, after it's decided who's going to be able to hold the E-War part of the confrontation. So this Loki now getting into low shields, Scimitar either not able to lock or not doing enough repping to keep him up. So, ooh, there's some cycles pulling him back to about half shields.
Yeah, just like with the last match when you saw the two rooks disappear, and then immediately the team falls apart. When the E-War teams are very heavily dependent on that E-War, and once that kind of chain starts to break, they tend to not last very long. The Rage Thrasher looks like it's about to exit shields and hit armor, and I don't think it'll last too long past there.
Alright, I don't know if I was crazy about that other Tengu, but this one definitely shooting heavy missiles like a normal good Tengu, so maybe I was just seeing that graphic kind of funny, I don't know. Anyway, Thrasher going down, 2 Frigs now, Scimitar, Loki, Curse, and Tengu left for Rage, kind of a mix, and there's a little side battle going on here between the Solar Curses and the Rage Tengu. The Rage Tengu putting damage on one of those curses, newts all over the place, but they're not going to be able to break it. The Tengu isn't, and now this Loki taking more damage. Wow, I assume you guys can see this, but there is just damps, possibly some tracking disruptors, and so much neutralization spread all over this field. It's got to be so annoying to be in this fight.
Yeah, and the Rage Loki is down to about 25% shields now. It's also worth noting that MacTep is on fire.
Yeah, that's super important at this point. I think I'm just trying to figure out. It seems crazy to me that the logistics are able to get any cycles in at all, especially the Rage Scimitar. He is able to get. He's webbed. He's sitting there next to the Rage Loki, and he is getting some shield transfer cycles. And I would think that with so much neutralization on the Solar Fleet team, they would be able to shut him down and just have their way basically with these Tech 3 ships, but apparently that's not the case. He must be injecting, or he's not getting cap transfer. Yeah, I just don't know why he's able to run reps at all.
It's not always easy to have your way with a Tech 3 ship. The Ishkur on the Rage side is hitting structure now, so I don't think that's going to last too much longer. And you can also see that the Loki's at about 25% shields and dropping fast. We just hit structure, so that's gone too. So it looks like with the E-War Battle 1, Solar Fleet is starting to dominate this match pretty well.
Yeah, they definitely got it in hand now, but kind of a crazy one. I wish there was explosions and stuff to go with the E-War, because that was definitely the name of this match. And even though it's over now, it's like this should be the exciting point when the ships are blowing up. But really, I think it was all decided earlier on when the neutralizing and the dampening worked themselves out. And it's kind of crazy because as this Scimitar is dropping, that's really the last possible hope that Rage had, was him in the fight. With him gone, it's kind of a no-brainer. But it's much more difficult to FC that E-War battle than it is to FC the target calling for damage. A lot of time in EVE you can run a pretty good fleet just coordinating your damage, just saying everybody shoot, the same ship. But in the E-War battle, you really have to spread, and you have to spread evenly so that everybody is shut down at once, and that's hard to do. Another frig down, so Solar Fleet doing real good right now.
Yeah, that Rage Tengu looks like it's a primary now. It's running out of shields. Solar Fleet definitely holding the upper hand, obviously able to spread more evenly than Rage.
That's right, Darius. They spread more evenly, and they didn't touch their mouse accidentally as often either. Tengu going down now, just a curse left, and that will do it. This is interesting. I like the dual Balgorn. I think that kind of had it in this match anyway. That was, the deciding factor to begin with for me. I wonder how 2 Balgorns would do against some bombers and maybe some Slipners. And ship just disappeared for Solar Fleet. I don't think that was because of damage.
Perhaps it is a magical disappearing ship. The Curse now entering armor damage. So this match is over. It's in structure and it's exploded. Solar Fleet wins the match. We're going to hand it back to Soundwave.
Thank you very much, guys. This is definitely 2 really, really good teams and a match I was looking forward to. Solar Fleet winning, but Rage definitely putting up a respectable fight. It looked like it could tip both ways a lot during the match. We have one more match today. But please remember that we have 16 more matches tomorrow, much more entertainment. 16 more matches tomorrow. At the end of tomorrow, we'll know which 32 teams you can watch live next weekend, when we'll have all our commentators in our studio in Iceland, and you'll get studio commentary, just everything from this Universe Cup. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 2-3 minutes with Death from Above versus the Romanian Legion.